Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Plant Rich Sandra, and I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. Tonight I wanted to continue talking about when you're getting started, when you're trying to continue on in going from a standard American diet over to a whole food, plant-based plan or nutrient-dense plant-rich plan, as Dr. Furman more appropriately calls it. And if you go back and watch my previous episode, I mentioned 5 different ways that you can transition in from the SAD over to a nutrient-dense, plant-rich way of eating. And if you haven't watched that episode, I'd like to encourage you to go back and to watch that episode. Tonight I want to talk about some additional things that might help you as you are trying to stick to this plan to get your motivation and get your momentum going. And I hope that some of my tips tonight will be encouraging and will be helpful to you. We're going to find out if Miss Nala over there, oh, here she comes. We're going to find out if she's going to let me do this or not. When I was talking to somebody the other day, she jumped up on the bed and knocked the phone off, and then I lost. So here she is wanting some attention, and we'll find out if she's going to let me do this without messing up. Before I get started, I just want to say that I want to recommend 4 books, especially if you are a part of my little support group that will be starting up on August 26th. It'll be on Monday nights. It'll run every Monday through until Thanksgiving week. Sorry about the weather. Yep, that's what she does not like. So there she goes back under the bed. I don't think she's going to be coming out for a while. But I'm recommending a minimum of 2 books. And first, I want to recommend, and this is for anybody, I want to recommend one of these 2 books right here. I know you're looking at them backwards, but this is the book that started it for Dr. Furman, Eat to Live. And if it has the green down here, it is the updated version. If it has red down here, it's the original 2003-2004 version. But the green sunburst is the new updated version of 2011. But a lot of folks feel, and even Dr. Furman feels, that this one, The End of Dieting, which he wrote in 2014, is easier to read for the layman, like me and you, who are not doctors, and that it addresses the issue of emotional hunger, emotional eating, a little bit more than Eat to Live does. I think they're both great. This one was the one I cut my teeth on. Actually, it was on Audible, which is the original version, the 2003-2004 version. Listening to it night and day, every available minute, every spare minute. I was listening to it in the shower. I was listening to it when I fell asleep at night. I had it playing on my phone. I'd wake up listening to him talking. And that was it for me. That was my motivation in the beginning. I didn't know that there was anybody else out there. Now, you may be wondering, why do I have working copy written on these books? The reason is because these are the copies that I use. These are the copies that I don't mind getting a little smudged. I write in them. I highlight in them. I have a different copy that is autographed by Dr. Furman. Nobody touches that. Nobody touches my autographed books. I do not even myself hardly ever touch them. I don't want to use them in the kitchen. I don't want to drag them around with me in my backpack. But when I write working copy on there, then these I can let people hold, etc. So those I recommend you get one or even both. And if you're going to pick, take your choice, really. It's up to you which one you like. They're both great books. Now let's talk about cookbooks. I've talked about them, but tonight I wanted to actually hold them up. And there are 2 cookbooks, and I recommend at least one of them, your choice. Both of them would be great, but not everybody is going to get both of these. So we'll start with Dr. Furman's. And also I want to mention Lisa, his wife Lisa, because if I'm not mistaken, Lisa actually cooked every single recipe in this book and did the photography, and they're beautiful. So it really is quick and easy. Every recipe in here is quick and easy. So I recommend Eat to Live Quick and Easy Cookbook. And I also recommend this one by Kathy Fisher, Straight Up Food, and her website, straightupfood.com, where she actually has quite a few of the recipes for free on there. I have autographed copies of both of these, and they don't go anywhere. They stay at my house. This one is a brand new copy that I just got. It is not my autographed copy. And this is my latest one that I am going to put working copy on the front, and will be doing my notes in that one. And if I happen to have a little something on my fingers and I'm touching it, I don't worry about that one. Now let us go on to talking about some tips I wanted to mention. First of all, I want to say, like I'd said on the previous episode, that even though this did not happen to me personally, physically, I did not feel physically crappy in the beginning. I don't know why. I just don't remember having a whole bunch of shakiness and the normal detox that people talk about. So that was not an issue for me, but a lot of people do go through it. And I wanted to mention a little bit tonight more about that, because I mentioned it yesterday, but I just wanted to kind of touch on it a little bit more. Think about a person who has been a smoker for decades, and they decide they want to quit. Well, it's not all wonderful feelings of the very next day, like, wow, no cigarettes, and I feel amazing. Why didn't I do this sooner? They don't feel amazing. What do they feel? Nicotine withdrawal. That's what they feel. Nicotine withdrawal. And it is a terrible feeling. And they get shaky, and they just need that cigarette. They need that pull on that cigarette to pull some more nicotine back in their system. And they feel like utter crap for quite a long time. Somebody who is coming off of a heavy drug, cocaine, let's say, they don't feel amazing in 24 hours because suddenly they are off cocaine. They feel like crap. They're shaking. They're in a terrible situation. And in their head, they're thinking, if I could just have one more little dose, then I'll be okay. And you know what? When they get that dose, suddenly they kind of do feel better, because the detoxification that had started when their body was like, oh, I can heal now because I've got a lot of work to do here. When the detoxification starts and they feel bad, they have to work through that. And as soon as if they can't work through it and they just can't hang on, what do? They find a way to get some more, and then suddenly, oh, yes, I feel better now. It's the same thing with food. When I was going through my caffeine withdrawal, I don't have a heavy addiction to caffeine. I just drink about 16 ounces every morning, pretty daggum weak, actually. And so whenever I attempted when I did my extended water fast and I gave up coffee for 3 days, I had a slight headache. And if I had just gone and snuck a cup of coffee, that headache would have gone away. But that was what I was trying to do, was to detox. So you probably will experience some crappiness in the beginning, and it isn't because there's something wrong with the plan that you're trying to follow. It is because your body is saying, really, now I can heal? Thank you very much, because I got some work to do here. You're not going to like it, but let's get through this. So allow your body to feel that, and it will not last, and you will get through it. I remember many, many times in my past when I wouldn't eat and I would get, as they say, the shakes. That goes away when you become a nutritarian. When you switch to nutrient-dense, plant-rich way of eating, when you get hungry, you just get hungry. And it is not the shakes. I don't have the shakes anymore because I'm not detoxing from the things I had just eaten and feel like I need to go eat more. But it is very hard to explain that to people sometimes. So the next thing I want to say is mantras. Mantras have been absolutely amazing for me. And again, sorry about the lights. The power is we've got a little storm outside tonight. So some people call these positive affirmations. And I recommend that when you find a good one, you know how people put their memes, they put their little quotes, their positive quotes in the support groups. And when you watch Jason Cohen on his Big Change videos, his interviews with people who have lost substantial amounts of weight, almost every one of them will tell you a good mantra, a good affirmation. And I've heard so many good ones from the people that Jason has interviewed. He's done at least 100 interviews, and they've all been very beneficial to me. I recommend that you write them down on index cards and that you read them often. And every now and then, you're going to come up with some on your own too. I've come up with a few. I remember one time my son works as a nighttime CSM at a Walmart. It's like a 40-minute drive away. And one night his Jeep messed up. He had a tire problem or something had happened. And he said, "Ma, could you drive me to work tonight and then come pick me up in the morning? And then I'm going to take the car on over to Hatcher's and get it fixed as soon as I get home." I'm like, "Yeah." So, well, he has to be there. He has to start shift at 10 p.m. And it was a weeknight. So for me, a weeknight. And I had to drive the 40 minutes to take him and then the 40 minutes back. Well, that was way past my bedtime for a school night when I need to get up early the next morning and go to work. So there I was in that Walmart, hungry because it was late and I should have been in my bed at 10 o'clock, but I was at a Walmart 40 minutes from my house. And I was very vulnerable and I was very hungry and I needed to just be in my bed. But I was walking around trying to find some flaxseed, just picking up a few items that I actually needed. And to get the flax, I had to walk down the aisle with all of the candy, the packaged candies. And it was late. And my first thought was, nobody would know. If I just got a Mr. Pibb up there as I walked out and I just picked up a Reese's peanut. It's been a long time since I've had a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I wouldn't have to tell anybody. I mean, who's going to know? Devin's already at work. He's already checked in and timed in, clocked in, whatever they say, and he wouldn't know. And I just throw away the evidence. And I'd already at that point lost maybe 70 or 80 pounds. And as I walked past the M&Ms, the Reese's peanut butter cups, I thought, you know what? And I looked down at myself, slimmer than I had been at my highest weight of 252. And I said, you know what? I didn't get this by eating that. And that became one of my most important mantras, that whenever I'm feeling a little bit weak and that I want to eat something, and these days I don't really feel that way, that I want to eat something that's standard American diet. That feeling did go away for me. But while I was still under the grips, I would just say, I didn't get this by eating that. So why would I want to go back to eating that and look like I did before? So that is a mantra that I came up with. And another one is that just figure it out and make it work. And so if I want to keep my excuses, then I will hang on to my excuses. That's another one. I will grab on and hold on to my excuses for dear life. I have so many friends who are hanging on to their excuses. They're not getting anywhere with their weight loss because they would rather have the excuses and the standard American diet food than actual results. So they're hanging on to their excuses. And I decided a long time ago that the excuses are going to go bye-bye, and I'm going to find results. I want results. I'm not going to go through all this and end up feeling and looking the same every daggum day and never have any results. So if I want the results, I have to release the excuses. So I have to figure it out. I have to get over myself and figure out how I can make this work. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You can make it work. Just sit down and say, okay, how am I going to make this work? I'm not going to throw up my hands and say, oh, well, I'm going to the Christmas dinner and we'll be there all day visiting, and there's just no way I'm going to be able to stick to my nutritarian plan that day, so I'm just going to go off for the day. I'm going to go off the plan for the day. And the day turns into 2 days, and then it turns into a week, and that's what happens. So before that happens, you need to sit down and say, okay, what am I going to do to make it work? I am the most important component here. What am I going to do to make it work? So you figure it out and you make it work, even if it means if you're flying in, then you say, I'm going to need a cooler. You tell your cousin, you tell your sister-in-law, I need a cooler. And I'm going to borrow your car, or you call Walmart and you say, I need delivery. And you set that cooler outside and you keep your stuff out of everybody else's way so nobody's like falling all over your cooler of your food. And you cook your own daggum stuff and you eat it. And you eat it with pride. And you don't worry about what anybody else is eating. That's none of your business. Okay? All you need to worry about is you. So you make the stuff and you stick to your plan, and tomorrow morning you will be so proud of yourself, and you will continue your progress toward losing weight. So figure it out and make it work. It's just, I'm offering you, that's one of my mantras that I use. Okay, here's another one, and this one is from my awesome hero, Nalita Besson. And I got this off of her interview with Jason Cohen. She said, sometimes, you're going through tough times, but you just have to remember this: just do it. Just go through it. And I've said this to y'all before, and sometimes when I'm really struggling, I just tell myself, I'm going to do what Nalita said. Just do it. Just go through it. Experience the bad feelings. Experience the stress. The food is not going to help the stress. Okay? Whatever you plan on going in there and eating is not going to do anything to alleviate whatever is causing your stress. I promise you that. So just forget the food and get through the stress. Face the stress. So just do it. Just go through it. And like I said, this one from Heather Goodwin, the results and the excuses don't live on the same street. So you can't have both. You can't hang on to your excuses and also grab results. Your arms aren't big enough to hold both. So why don't you set those excuses down, actually throw them down, and you reach over and you pick up those results and you hang on to those, okay? All right, another one is face your stuff. Don't stuff your face. So again, this ties back in. The food is not going to solve your problems. You need to face the problem and then deal with it, okay? Another one is your long-term condition depends on your short-term decisions. That is a really good one, because right now you may say, just this once, okay, just for tonight, because I'm a little bit stressed right now. So I'll get back on my plan tomorrow. I'll get back and do everything right. But right now, I need to go to the kitchen, and I need to get a couple slices of bread, and I need to get my son's regular peanut butter, because I don't currently have any peanut butter, and I need to use his grape jelly, and I need a peanut butter and jelly sandwich just right now. Tomorrow, back on the plan. Okay, you just made a short-term decision, and it will affect your long-term condition. Okay, so just remember that. Next one, calm, quiet, and in control. That is a really good mantra to tell yourself especially when you're feeling stressed. The comeback is always stronger than the setback. That is a very good one. These are not mine. These are some that other people have recommended that are very, very, very beneficial to them. And the thing about this is that not every affirmation that you read or you hear is going to speak to you. And it's not going to resonate with you. Some of these may mean nothing to me because I have not experienced them. But maybe to you, you're thinking, yes, that one, that's it. That's the one for me. Okay, so that one might work for you. Another one is that weight loss and energy are side effects. What are the side effects on weight loss pills? What are some of the side effects? Remember that, what is that drink that people drink that makes you constipated, so it stops up your system, and that's why you stop eating? What is that stuff called? I can't think of what it's called right now. It makes you be constipated so that you are feeling uncomfortable and you'll stop eating because you feel uncomfortable. Well, those are side effects of some of those weight loss drinks. But what are the side effects of a whole food plant-based lifestyle? What are the side effects of becoming a nutritarian? What are the side effects of living with a nutrient-dense, plant-rich lifestyle? Some of the side effects are weight loss and energy. Increased energy, lower weight, and we could go on, couldn't we? Pain disappears. There are lots of good side effects to being whole food plant-based. Another good one is just this one word: unstoppable. That is a very good one. And here is an acronym: FOCUS, FOCUS, follow one course until successful. That's a very good acronym. Here's another one: I am strong, energetic, grounded, healthy, and whole. That is a very good mantra. I welcome positive transformation into my life. Self-examine and then course correct. That one is a very powerful one to me, because I'm constantly thinking about, well, is my current system working for me? And if I feel like no, because I feel like on Sundays I cannot follow an an intermittent fasting schedule because I'm at church for 2.5 to 3 hours during my normal eating window of 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sometimes I don't even get home from church until 1. So I have to course correct because after examining how it's just not working on Sundays, I have to make a new decision for Sunday. Am I going to still stick to intermittent fasting but try to wait until after church to actually start eating? Can I go that long? Can I wait? Should I simply let Sunday be a day that I don't intermittent fast? That usually is the best way for me on Sundays. It's just to not intermittent fast. But that is self-examine and then course correct. Another good one that many, many people love is progress, not perfection. Don't look for perfection. Just keep working toward progression and remember that it is a journey. Fail to plan, plan to fail. And that is so true for us in the nutrient-dense, plant-rich community. If you don't have your vegetables prepped, it's not going to go like you want it to for the day. If you don't have something ready, cooked, or raw vegetables ready to go, things are not going to progress as you're hoping they will. So fail to plan and just go ahead and plan to fail. Hold the vision, trust the process. So when you're facing a choice to cheat or not, to add a little extra or not, ask yourself, how's that worked out for you in the past? And that might help you to say, well, last time I did this, and that's what happened. Okay, so keeping that in mind. The next one is hold the vision, trust the process. Oh, I'm sorry, I said that one. The next one, is I'm worth it. And I've said that to myself many times. I'm worth it. I'm stronger. I'm stronger than that bag of Fritos barbecue flavor. I'm stronger than that, and I am worth it. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And I love that one too. So I can see my time is running out here. I have a timer down here letting me know because this phone will shut off on me at a certain time. So I'm trying to watch my time here. This one, when I saw this, it was on an exercise Facebook page in a group, and it really, really hit me hard. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And the way I interpret that is, and I have many friends who feel that they don't really want to change like what they're eating. They want to lose weight, but they are not interested in giving up anything. They feel like, I don't feel like I need to give anything up. I just need to limit my amounts. And in reality, they're not going to change. They're not really interested in making any major changes, which means that nothing is going to happen for them. Nothing is actually going to change because they aren't going to make any change. They're going to basically keep going with their plan, and they're not going to learn how to limit things. And limiting really doesn't work anyway. Elimination works, but limiting for most people does not do the job. Commitment is doing what you said you would do after the feeling you set it in has passed. I love that one. So you may be like, I'm going to do this. And then tomorrow comes and that feeling of motivation has gone. What do? So commitment is that you keep up that feeling even after that motivation has slipped away from you, but you said you were going to do it. So that is commitment. The next one is you never know the day that will change your life. And that's very true. The day that changed my life was the day that I realized I had become either diabetic or pre-diabetic, and I wanted to start right then making a real change. And that was what led me to becoming a nutritarian in the first place, and it has paid off for me. The next one is just make the darn blank or you're going to eat the house. So fill in the blank with our foods. So if you say just go in there right now and make a salad or make that fruit smoothie, that fresh fruit, that frozen fruit sorbet now before you go in there and grab that bag of Cheetos that your son left on the kitchen counter when he came home from work. Next one, I keep my promises to myself. The next one, decide what kind of life you want and then say no to everything else that isn't that. Oh my God, that is a great one. Decide what kind of life you want and then say no to everything else that isn't part of that life that you want. That is what I do every day when I pass a vending machine and I say no to the things that I used to go in there and eat. I used to, many years ago and for many years, if I didn't bring something for lunch, here was my lunch. A Coke, sometimes a Diet Coke, and 2 things from the vending machine in the teacher's lounge. One would be something salty, like a little bag of like a pack of Lance crackers or a bag of chips, and then I would get 1 or maybe 2 candy bars, chocolate, from the vending machine. So I was eating that every day. I would just put money in the vending machine, and within an hour after eating that as my lunch, I felt like crap. For the rest of the day, for my classes, I felt like I actually felt it. I felt like crap for the rest of the day. So now, when I pass a vending machine, because they do keep a vending machine in the teacher's lounge now still. It's not visible to the students anymore, but it is in the teacher's lounge. And if I see it, I say to myself that nothing in that machine is part of the life that I want. And so that helps to be able to walk away from that. Be stronger than your excuse. Be stronger than your strongest excuse. And you can overcome your excuses. The next one is, and many of you have shared this with me when you've talked with me, is you know this works. You know this works. So don't kid yourself thinking, but. No, you already have proven that this works to you. When you have a little backslide, then you're sitting there thinking, but I know that it will work. I just need to get back on plan. And then I have one more, and this one, I'll end my tips tonight with this one. And that one is, how you get there is how you'll stay there. And what I want to say about that is, I've had different people tell me, colleagues and friends, they'll say, right now, I just need to lose the weight quickly. So I'm just going to do keto right now because I know that I've known other people, they've lost a bunch of weight real fast. Then I will switch over to something healthier. But right now I just got to get the weight off. So I'm just going to do keto now for a couple months to get the weight off. It doesn't work that way, folks. What happens when you do that is that you are not learning the skills, the coping skills that you are going to need when you get to your weight. You are not going to be able to handle the weight and keeping it off because you learned nothing during the process to get there. It is while you're losing the weight that you're picking up your best coping strategies, your best tools, and you're going to need them when you get there. Trust me, that's what I'm dealing with right now, is I'm having to call up all of the things that I have been working on all this time, all these little strategies, and I'm having to use them now hard to maintain. And it is harder to maintain than it is to lose the weight because the momentum is different. So, okay, so my phone's about to shut off on me, so I'll stop right now for this. And I have more tips, but I hope that I said something that resonates with you in this video. Also, I hope that I didn't say too many times. I'm working on that. And thank you for joining me. And if you liked this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and maybe share and hit the notification bell. And I'm trying to be much more regular in my videos. Thank you again for joining me, and we'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.